just want to be comfortable. I just want to be able to leave my kids something when I'm gone. I just want to be remembered. I just want them to say, my granddad put this down for us and he left us with this right here.
For real, that wrong as dog.
Yeah, made it wrong. We gonna have a conversation though.
By J. Prince Jr. right now, and I'm getting somewhere with all this. I'm finna sum it all. First thing came out my mouth was, damn, why would Junior do me like that? Damn, bro, know I got kids. I'm fresh out of jail. I'm a young black.
As of now, the situation involving Finesse2tymes and members connected to the J. Prince family remains one of the most talked about disputes in hip-hop commentary circles. With live stream clips, social media statements, and interviews circulating online, the story continues to draw attention from fans trying to understand exactly what happened behind the scenes. What makes the situation particularly interesting is that both sides appear to believe they are standing on principles of loyalty and respect. From Finesse2tymes' perspective, the frustration seems to come from feeling that certain opportunities for guidance and mentorship did not unfold the way he expected when entering the partnership. Considering the challenges he faced earlier in life, he has often spoken about how important trust and support were when he began rebuilding his career in the music industry. In his mind, the partnership was supposed to provide both opportunity and knowledge. On the other hand, figures connected to the Prince family appear to believe their contributions and support have been misunderstood. From their viewpoint, they offered opportunities and assistance that helped create momentum for the artist's career. Hearing those efforts questioned publicly may have felt like an attack on their reputation. Disputes like this often become complicated because they involve both business decisions and personal relationships. Contracts, percentages, distribution agreements, and branding partnerships can all create complicated situations where expectations are not always perfectly aligned. Once emotions become involved, those disagreements can quickly grow into major public debates. For now, many fans are simply watching to see how the situation develops. Some believe it may eventually calm down once both sides move forward with their careers. Others think additional responses or clarifications could still appear in the future. Hip-hop history has shown that once industry disputes reach the public stage, they rarely disappear quickly. And with influential figures involved in this situation, there is always the possibility that new developments could emerge at any time. For the moment, the conversation continues, with fans and commentators closely following every new statement and trying to determine where the full truth might ultimately lie.
I'm having a problem getting out the contract, and I want to get out the contract at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I still don't want no pause. It's been too much going on. All right, I'm gonna make a long story short and a short story shorter. My manager bamboozled me. 2.5 years ago, chat. Check me out, y'all. My manager brought me something that was said by the A&R that worked for Maltese. What he brought me was that Junior was trying to get over on me about a specific business deal. I ain't finna go into details. When he told me, man, don't tell nobody. He told me, don't tell nobody, because keep it under your hat. Don't tell nobody, because I'm supposed to know this. This is what the A&R on Maltese told me. So don't tell nobody. And it was a big situation, y'all. It was a situation where I got out of over $250,000. I got bamboozled out of over $250,000 sub up, and you won't have to go through the ads. I was about to be hit for over $250,000.
As the discussion continued gaining attention, another major voice eventually entered the conversation: J. Prince himself. Known for his long-standing influence in the hip-hop industry, J. Prince has played a significant role in shaping many careers over the years through his work with Rap-A-Lot Records and his broader connections throughout the music business. When he addressed the situation, his comments immediately captured attention across social media and hip-hop news platforms. According to his statements, he felt the criticism directed toward his family was unfair and did not accurately reflect the support they believed they had provided in the past. From his perspective, the Prince family had offered opportunities and assistance at different points in time. Because of that, hearing their name connected to controversy was something he did not appreciate. In his view, the public accusations overlooked moments when help had been extended during difficult periods. Those remarks quickly sparked debate online. Some listeners believed J. Prince was simply defending his family's reputation and responding to criticism they felt was undeserved. Others wondered whether the disagreement might involve deeper business issues that had not yet been fully explained publicly. Situations like this often become complicated because fans rarely have access to the full story. Business negotiations in the music industry typically happen behind closed doors, involving lawyers, contracts, and multiple parties. When disagreements that were originally private suddenly become public, the lack of complete information can create confusion. Each side may present their own perspective, and fans are left trying to interpret fragments of the larger story. In this case, the debate largely centered around expectations. On one side, Finesse2tymes explained that he felt certain aspects of the partnership could have been handled differently. On the other side, figures connected to the Prince family suggested their support had already been provided and that the criticism did not reflect the full picture. Because both sides appear to see the situation differently, the conversation has remained active within hip-hop communities.
Instead, he brought it to me and told me that they tried to bamboozle me and told me to be quiet about it. So I was quiet about it. I appreciate it like girls on three. He wanted me to be quiet about it, bro. So guess what my loyal ass did? Guess what my real ass did? Thinking that it's some loyalty in this shit. Thinking that it's some real nigga in this shit. I stayed quiet, y'all. For 2.5 years, I ain't say nothing. The whole time in my mind, I'm thinking J. Prince Jr. done tried to swindle me for my $250,000 and my little bread. Knowing at the time I needed my. So the whole time, I'm mad at Junior. The whole time I'm going at Junior, mad at Junior, feeling away toward J. Prince about this specific situation. It was a lot more that went with it. And when I talked to J. Prince, we made amends in certain areas. Like, we both agreed that we could communicate with each other more. We both agreed to that. We both agreed that we in a partnership. I'm not signed to Mob Ties. Mob Ties don't own me. Atlantic don't own me. I'm not bread game.
In the world of music contracts and industry partnerships, clear communication can often determine whether a relationship thrives or eventually falls apart. According to Finesse2tymes, one of the main sources of frustration for him involved the feeling that certain details about the deal were never fully explained. From his perspective, if the structure of the agreement had been laid out more clearly from the start, the situation might have unfolded very differently. Artists entering major partnerships often rely heavily on experienced figures to help them navigate complex legal language. Contracts frequently include terms that affect royalties, distribution rights, publishing percentages, and ownership structures. Without clear explanations, even talented and successful musicians can struggle to fully understand the long-term implications of those agreements. During his live stream conversation, Finesse2tymes described how he believed the people around him were supposed to help guide him through those decisions. In his mind, the partnership was not only about music distribution or brand alignment, but also about mentorship. He believed the individuals he aligned himself with would help him understand how the business side of the industry truly worked. However, some observers believe the expectations on both sides might have been different. In many cases, business partnerships in the music industry are strictly professional arrangements rather than mentorship relationships. While experienced figures may provide opportunities or connections, they are not always responsible for guiding artists through every financial or legal decision. This difference in expectations can easily lead to misunderstandings. One person might view the relationship as a partnership focused on business outcomes, while the other may view it as a mentorship that includes guidance and protection. That possibility has become a major topic of debate among fans and commentators discussing the situation. Some believe Finesse2tymes simply expected more mentorship than the arrangement was designed to provide. Others believe the people involved should have taken extra steps to make sure he fully understood the details of the deal. Regardless of which interpretation is correct, the situation highlights how easily communication gaps can create tension in the entertainment industry. When financial decisions and career opportunities are involved, even small misunderstandings can eventually grow into major disagreements. According to his explanation, the longer those questions remained unanswered, the more they continued to weigh on him. Eventually, he reached a point where he felt it was necessary to share his perspective publicly so that fans could understand why the situation had been bothering him for so long.
Finesse2tymes and Mob Ties. Mob Ties is signed with Atlantic. They have their own deal. Now, when I brought, it was a few things that we went through, and I ain't gonna put, you know what I'm saying, because we talked about it. It was a few things we went through that he still didn't tell me that I feel like he should have told me. Now, as far as business, I ain't gonna lie. You don't owe me no loyalty. You don't owe me no loyalty when it comes to business. You get personal. When you got a sitting up telling you they love you, when you got preaching loyalty, when you got to understand you cannot do this and then handle business at the same time. You can't say you love somebody and you're gonna be there for them and I'm talking about the label situation. You like, who we talking about? I'm talking about the label situation, man. Catch up. I'm talking about J. Prince Jr. right now, and I'm getting somewhere with all this. I'm finna sum it all up for y'all. Don't tell me you love me. Don't tell me we going to the top, this, that, and third, this, that, and third. And then don't tell me all the game. I still don't with it. Ain't no excuse to not giving a nigga the.
According to Finesse2tymes, the period after discovering the potential business issue became a complicated chapter in his career. Instead of immediately confronting the situation publicly, he explained that he chose to remain quiet for a long time. In his mind, staying silent was not a sign of weakness, but rather a demonstration of loyalty and patience. The music industry is built on relationships, and once trust is established between artists and business partners, many people prefer to handle disagreements privately rather than bringing them into the public spotlight. During that time, he continued doing what fans knew him for: recording music, performing, and expanding his presence in hip-hop. From the outside, everything appeared normal. New songs were released, collaborations were announced, and his fan base continued to grow. Yet, according to his later statements, the questions about that earlier business situation never completely disappeared from his mind. He explained that he believed the issue might eventually be resolved behind the scenes. In many business relationships, problems are sometimes addressed privately through conversations between managers, attorneys, and partners. Because of that, he initially hoped the situation would be clarified without creating a public dispute that could damage reputations or relationships. However, as time passed, the uncertainty reportedly began to weigh on him. According to his explanation during the livestream, the frustration was not only about the money involved. Instead, he emphasized that the bigger issue was communication. When artists step into complicated business arrangements, they often depend on experienced figures to explain exactly how those agreements work. From his point of view, if certain details had been explained more clearly at the beginning, much of the confusion might have been avoided. He suggested that a straightforward conversation about how the deal was structured could have prevented years of lingering questions. The situation also highlights a broader reality about the music industry. Contracts can include complicated clauses related to publishing rights, royalties, percentages, and long-term revenue streams. For artists who are primarily focused on creating music, those legal structures can be difficult to fully understand without guidance from knowledgeable advisors. Because of that complexity, many artists expect the people around them to help translate those business terms into clear explanations. When that clarity does not happen, misunderstandings can develop over time. According to Finesse2tymes' account, the longer the situation remained unresolved, the more it stayed in the back of his mind. Even though he kept moving forward with his career, the unanswered questions continued to build frustration. And eventually, after holding those feelings privately for years, he decided it might finally be time to speak about the situation openly.
Let me show y'all how loyal I am. Let me kick y'all some guys. I know I could have came home and signed with anybody, chat. I could have came home and signed with whoever I wanted to sign with, chat. Y'all know why I chose monetize? It's because I thought, from my experience, the people that came in encounter with them, what I done read on, because I read the old man book, I thought that loyalty existed. I thought that they was going to teach me the game. I thought that since they was black and they done been in the street before, that they gonna appreciate that they gonna understand, what I done been through. They ain't gonna get over on me in no shape, form, or fashion, and monetize is gonna help me build a brand. That was my dream. I thought that monetize was gonna help me build my brand. I didn't all that other, they do bad deals, but I ain't never heard that, and I wasn't riding off it before when I heard it. Because how I deal with you, that don't mean they gonna deal with me like that. Not on no tough, but it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because he did that, you know what I'm saying? My problem with Jay Prince is I just feel like he could have put me on more game.
One reason this story has captured so much attention is because situations like this highlight the complicated reality many artists face when entering the music business. When someone rises from difficult circumstances and suddenly finds themselves surrounded by contracts, executives, and high-level partnerships, the transition can be overwhelming. Artists often rely heavily on the people around them, managers, advisors, and experienced industry figures, to help them navigate a world that operates very differently from the environment they came from. For someone like Finesse2tymes, that transition may have carried even more significance. His journey into mainstream music came after experiencing serious challenges earlier in life. When artists step into the industry after difficult experiences, the expectation of loyalty and support from those around them can become especially important. Many artists view their teams not only as business partners, but also as mentors who can guide them through unfamiliar territory. In commentary discussions across YouTube channels, podcasts, and hip-hop forums, many people believe the heart of the situation might come down to differing expectations. Some observers believe Finesse2tymes may have expected a deeper level of mentorship and guidance from individuals he respected in the industry. Others believe the relationship may have been structured more strictly as a professional business partnership rather than a mentorship arrangement. That distinction can be extremely important. In the music industry, the line between friendship, mentorship, and business can sometimes become blurred. An artist might see someone as a mentor or protector, while the other person may view the relationship primarily through the lens of business agreements and professional collaboration. When those expectations do not align, misunderstandings can develop quickly. A situation that initially appears stable can begin to feel frustrating if one side believes they were expecting guidance or protection that never fully materialized. Observers who follow the situation closely often emphasize that business disputes in the music industry rarely involve a single issue. Instead, they usually grow from multiple smaller moments, conversations that were unclear, deals that were not fully explained, or expectations that were never openly discussed. As the story surrounding the partnership between Finesse2tymes and figures connected to the Mob Ties brand began spreading online, many fans started analyzing every detail they could find. From livestream clips to older interviews, people began piecing together timelines and statements in an attempt to understand how the situation reached this point. And according to Finesse2tymes himself, one of the most important turning points involved the way certain business matters were explained, or possibly not explained, during the early stages of his partnership.
Guess what B told me? Say no more. I don't know if he thought I was playing or not. He was with me, y'all, all the way up until we got on the phone. When we got on the phone, he didn't tell J. Prince Jr. and his A&R what he told me. And that's up, because that's my manager. So you mean I appreciate the sugar real big monster. This sugar, y'all, I appreciate it, baby. He didn't tell me the same thing. He didn't tell them the same thing he told me. When he brought it to me, it was, I ain't gonna lie, fool, I ain't gonna lie, but you got to keep this one under your hat. You got to keep this one under your... I'm like, you know I ain't gonna say nothing. What's up, nigga, tell me. Man, them folks trying to get you. They were trying to, man, walk for 5,000 for your publishing and woo. But don't say nothing, because Guns told me, and I know, I'm supposed to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you because I'm in good with Guns, so don't say nothing. I'm like, all right, bitch, I ain't going to say nothing, but this, the first thing came out of my mouth was, damn, why would Junior do me?
The hip-hop community has been buzzing with conversations recently, and one situation that continues to surface across social media and industry discussions involves Finesse2tymes and members connected to the influential J. Prince family. What initially appeared to be a private disagreement tied to business arrangements has gradually evolved into a much larger public conversation. Fans, commentators, and even other artists have started paying attention, trying to understand how a partnership that once seemed promising eventually turned into a situation filled with tension and unanswered questions. At first, the issue did not seem particularly dramatic. In the music industry, disagreements over contracts, partnerships, and expectations are fairly common. However, this particular situation began attracting attention because of the personalities involved and the public nature of the responses that followed. Through live-stream conversations, interviews, and social media clips, pieces of the story slowly began circulating online. Each new comment added another layer to the narrative, encouraging fans to examine what might have been happening behind the scenes. From an outside perspective, the tension appears to revolve around business relationships connected to the Mob Ties network, a brand closely associated with the Prince family and their long-standing influence in hip-hop. Over the years, Mob Ties has built a reputation for connecting artists with opportunities, industry relationships, and distribution support. For many artists, aligning with a well-known brand or network like that can seem like a major step forward in their careers. In the case of Finesse2tymes, the Memphis rapper has openly spoken about some of the frustrations he experienced during his rise in the industry. During various discussions online, he explained that while he appreciated the opportunities he received, there were moments where he felt certain aspects of the business side were not communicated clearly enough. According to his own statements, he believed that when he stepped into deals connected to his music career, he expected a level of guidance and protection from those around him. That expectation is not unusual for artists who are navigating the complicated world of record contracts and distribution partnerships for the first time. Many musicians depend heavily on experienced figures in the industry to help them understand how deals are structured and what long-term consequences they may carry. As the story continues to unfold, many observers believe the core issue might not be about a single event at all. Instead, it may involve a series of misunderstandings, expectations, and business decisions that slowly built tension over time. And once those frustrations started being discussed publicly, the entire situation quickly turned into one of the most talked about conversations circulating within hip-hop commentary circles today.
Damn, bro, know I got kids, I'm fresh out of jail. I'm a young black man, bro. I might not be perfect, but I'm trying, nigga. That don't mean say, get over on me. Teach a nigga, man, what the f wrong with y'all? If I see him don't know something and I know it, I tell him. If I see him going down the wrong road finna crash out, I tell him. But get what you ass nigga do. Y'all let a nigga run straight into a brick wall. Cause a nigga competition. Too much competition. Like, it's too much competition, chat. We too much competition, chat. They don't want that. They don't want that because they know that I got the potential to be real big. They know that I got the potential to be bigger than them. But this is what they don't know. They don't know that I don't give a about being bigger than them. I just want to eat, be free, feed my kids, take care of my business, take care of my family. I don't give a about 300, 400 million. That's you greedy mother.
The difference between expectations and reality can sometimes create serious tension, especially in an industry where financial decisions and long-term contracts play such a large role. During one of his live stream discussions, Finesse2tymes spoke openly about his experience working alongside individuals connected to the Mob Ties network. In that conversation, he explained that certain business discussions happening behind the scenes left him feeling uncomfortable and uncertain about how certain decisions were being handled. From his perspective, some of those situations could have been avoided if the details had been communicated more clearly from the start. When artists are entering agreements that involve large financial commitments or long-term contractual obligations, clear communication becomes extremely important. Without that clarity, even a successful partnership can begin to feel uncertain. During his live stream explanation, Finesse2tymes emphasized that the issue was not only about money. While financial concerns certainly played a role, he repeatedly mentioned that trust was an even more important factor. In industries built on collaboration and reputation, trust can often be just as valuable as any contract. When an artist believes they are surrounded by people who genuinely want to see them succeed, they naturally expect those individuals to guide them away from potential problems. If an artist later feels that guidance was missing, it can create disappointment that lingers long after the business deal itself is finished. Another important part of his explanation involved the reasons he originally decided to align himself with that camp. According to him, the decision was not random. He believed he was joining forces with individuals who understood the environment he came from and the struggles he had faced earlier in his life. Because of that shared understanding, he expected the partnership to provide both opportunity and mentorship. In his mind, it seemed like the perfect combination of business support and personal guidance. However, as he later explained during the live stream conversation, the reality of the situation did not unfold exactly the way he had imagined when he first entered the partnership.
I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be able to leave my kids something when I'm gone. I just want to be remembered. I just want them to say, my granddad put this down for us and he left us with this right here. You greedy want all the money. You want to eat the whole pie. And you manipulating in the process. And you manipulated the wrong. Watch who you offend. You been sitting back talking behind my back. Ain't no way you got on that phone and reneged on me like that. Ain't no way you got on that phone and when Junior asked you, did guns tell you that I tried to get from there? You, no, it wasn't said like that. You made ass nigga. You ain't gonna stand on business with me, nigga. You get right in front of this man and nut up. You a for that. You a for that. You a for that, B. And I don't wanna with you. Don't call my phone, nigga. I don't wanna talk, nigga.
To understand why the situation meant so much to him, it is important to look at the background of Finesse2tymes and the challenges he faced earlier in life. The rapper has often spoken publicly about the difficult path he traveled before gaining attention in the music industry. His career did not follow the typical route many artists experience. Instead, his journey involved long stretches away from the spotlight and significant obstacles that delayed his rise in mainstream hip-hop. Because of those experiences, when he finally began building momentum in the music industry, he was especially careful about the partnerships he formed. In several interviews and live stream conversations, he explained that he wanted to surround himself with people who could not only help him succeed musically, but also guide him through the complicated business side of the industry. From his perspective at the time, aligning with individuals connected to the Mob Ties network appeared to be a strong move. The brand had a long-standing presence in hip-hop culture and was closely linked to influential figures like Jay, Prince, and his family. For an artist trying to establish himself on a national level, connections like that can seem incredibly valuable. Partnerships with experienced industry figures can open doors to distribution deals, marketing resources, and networking opportunities that would otherwise be difficult to access. Initially, the collaboration appeared to offer exactly that type of opportunity. However, according to Finesse2tymes, the situation eventually became more complicated than he expected. As time passed, the partnership reportedly began to feel less supportive and more frustrating from his perspective. When he eventually began discussing those frustrations publicly during live streams, the story quickly spread across social media platforms. Hip-hop discussion pages, reaction channels, and online forums started debating the situation, with fans attempting to determine what might have gone wrong. Some believed the disagreement might simply be the result of miscommunication, while others suspected deeper business disagreements that the public had not yet heard about. After keeping his concerns private for years, Finesse2tymes eventually decided to address the situation publicly during a live-stream discussion. According to him, the goal was not to start a public feud or create unnecessary drama. Instead, he explained that he simply wanted to share his side of the story and clarify why the experience had left him feeling frustrated. Once those comments began circulating online, the conversation quickly grew far beyond the original live stream. Clips from the discussion spread across social media platforms, hip-hop blogs, and commentary channels. Within a short period of time, thousands of fans were watching and debating the situation. As the clips continued gaining attention, many people began asking an important question: how would the other side respond? The individuals connected to the Mob Ties network and the influential Prince family have long been respected figures in the hip-hop business world. Because of that reputation, many observers expected some type of response once the accusations started spreading publicly. It did not take long before people connected to the situation began addressing the conversation. One of the first figures to speak about the issue was Prince Jr., who appeared to respond during discussions that later circulated across social media. In those responses, he suggested that certain comments directed toward his family had crossed a line. From his perspective, bringing family members into the situation publicly was seen as disrespectful. In hip-hop culture, loyalty and respect often carry enormous weight. When individuals believe those values have been challenged, their reactions can be strong. For many observers, this response signaled that the situation was no longer just a private disagreement, but had now become a public debate involving major figures in the industry. Once both sides started speaking publicly, the conversation spread even further. Fans began analyzing every statement, comparing perspectives, and attempting to determine where the truth might lie. And as more voices joined the discussion, it became clear that the situation had grown into one of the most talked about disputes circulating within hip-hop commentary spaces.